minute. Let me make sure I'm understanding Roger Goodell correctly. Hey, it's me, Roger G. After years of embracing gambling, after the incessant commercials and promotions in every NFL game begging your fan base to place bets, when I watch NFL Red Zone this afternoon, I will be bombarded with gambling promotions. Shedeur Sanders scrambles for 5 yards. By the way, fans, did you know you can bet on the number of rushing yards Deion's baby boy will have today against the Bears? The over-under started at 15.5, and it's been lowered to 10.5. With that 5-yard scramble, he's already halfway there. Wowzer! That's what I call value. Place your bets now at guaranteedtolose.com. After years of embracing gambling, Roger Goodell expects me to believe that all of a sudden he's concerned about it. The problem for Uncle Roger, Uncle KC does not believe you. And I damn sure don't feel sorry for the NFL because you injected yourself with this disease. Once you have been infected with the disease of gambling, it is incredibly difficult to find a cure. In the case of the NFL, gambling is financially lucrative. Well, Uncle KC, it's not that lucrative for the NFL. They only receive $132 million a year from sports books. Yeah, but when you include the benefits the league receives from gambling, it boosts NFL revenue by $2.3 billion a year. For the books, for the leagues, gambling is unbelievably lucrative, but for the fans who are already paying out the ass to watch your product, for the fans who believe the illusion that they can make money through gambling, it can have devastating consequences. As you guys know, me and one of my friends, we ran an online sports book for years. Our first year, we had 150 consistent players. Now, when I say consistent players, I'm talking about dudes who were betting weekly. Most of them were betting daily. One of our players, he was a leading medical professional at a major university in the SEC. Now, I have no idea how much money he was making, but it had to easily be $200,000-$300,000 a year. He was a brilliant dude. He was one of our smarter players for a little while. Our first year of operation, he actually won money. He was one of our top earners. Of course, he only won a few $1,000s over the course of the year, but out of 150 players, he was one of only 2 players that actually made money. Think about that. If you think you're going to make money or you think you're going to get rich by gambling, you have a 1 in 75 chance of winning long term. Simply put, you will lose. Anyway, his first year with us, he won, we lost. Good for him, right? When you're running a book, you want your players to win sometimes because winning gives them a false sense of confidence. Winning gives them a high. And once they experience that rush of adrenaline, they will chase it like a rabbit chases a carrot in a wolf's ass. We get into January, college basketball. He has a few extra $1,000s in his bankroll and he's feeling confident. By the time college basketball season ended in early April, he had lost $80,000. And that's not a one-off. That's not just one player. I worked the book for 3 years. I can tell you countless stories of brilliant dudes, men with lucrative careers, men with families and young children, great lives. They seemingly have everything under control, and they're willing to risk all of it to bet on Colgate in the opening round of the Patriot League Conference Tournament. Nothing good comes from gambling. It's bad for the gambler, it's bad for the leagues, it breeds corruption, and maybe, just maybe, that's why Roger Goodell is suddenly concerned about it. Except, that's not the real reason Uncle Roger is concerned. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the second channel in the description below. Today on the second channel, going to be talking about another NBA player getting into an altercation with a fan. This time, it appears that an NBA player got into an altercation with a child. Also, today is the final day to vote for the third annual Huge Embarrassing Failure Awards. Link to the poll in the description below, so get your votes in today. Headline at ESPN. NFL expresses concern to Congress over rise of prediction markets. For those that don't know, prediction markets basically allow gamblers to bet against each other while the book takes a percentage. From a sportsbook perspective, it's absolutely genius. There's no risk, you're just collecting the fee to take the bet. A very basic example of how it works. Let's say I want to place a bet on the Saints to beat the Panthers later this afternoon. I put my wager on the site, some Panthers fan accepts my wager. If the Saints win, I win, and the platform takes a percentage of the overall wager. Now, you're probably wondering, why does the NFL care about this? Why are they concerned? They've already embraced gambling. According to what the league told Congress this week, we are concerned that prediction markets are being offered in states where gambling is illegal. This is outrageous. These people are breaking the law. Breaking the law? You really expect me to believe that Uncle Roger is concerned about virtue? You expect me to believe that Roger Goodell is worried about people breaking the law? I hate to be a skeptic here, but Uncle KC ain't buying it. Another reason the NFL is claiming they're concerned, in states where gambling is illegal, there's no regulation, there's no oversight. This lack of oversight is a breeding ground of corruption. Your doofus league embracing gambling is a breeding ground for corruption. Right now, the NBA is in the midst of a gambling scandal. Terry Rozier, who was a starter in the league, Terry Rozier was placing bets on himself to underperform. Chauncey Billups is being accused of working with the mafia to swindle people out of millions of dollars. And the NBA has no one to blame but themselves. You can't embrace gambling, then pretend to be the monarchs of morality when your coaches and players are gambling. You want to know the real reason the NFL is supposedly concerned about prediction markets in states where gambling is illegal? Since gambling is illegal, that means the income generated is illegal, which also means the NFL sees none of that money. Roger Goodell doesn't care about legalities. He doesn't care about prediction markets. The only thing Uncle Roger cares about is none of that money being in his stocking for Christmas. He wants to use prediction markets as a new revenue stream for the league. You know, for decades, the NFL was vehemently against gambling. Back in 2012, Roger Goodell claimed that the NFL would never embrace gambling, and with good reason. If the league embraced gambling, it would create rampant speculation. Every time there's a dropped pass, a muffed punt, or a horrendous missed call by an official in the 2019 NFC Championship game that robbed the Saints of another Super Bowl and robbed NFL fans of seeing Drew Brees and Tom Brady competing in the Super Bowl. Anytime that happens, it would cause speculation. Back in 2012, Roger Goodell wanted nothing to do with gambling because he didn't want to sacrifice the integrity of the league. He didn't want fans questioning everything when bad plays or missed calls naturally happened. 9 years later, Roger Goodell changed his mind. Why? Greed. Last year, the NFL generated $23 billion in revenue. If you remove the $2 billion that's attributed to gambling, the NFL still generated $21 billion in revenue. This is why I don't understand the appeal of gambling from a league's perspective. How much money do you need? You mean to tell me $21 billion isn't enough? But KC people have always gambled. Why shouldn't the NFL monetize it? With the NFL being involved, it gives them the power to regulate it. How? How can you regulate gambling? How can you prevent players from betting on themselves? Are you going to tap their personal phones? Are you going to monitor every member of their family, every friend they have? The only thing the embrace of gambling has accomplished, a drastic increase in gambling. In 2018, which was the year gambling was legalized, there was $4.6 billion wagered in the United States. Last year, $150 billion. Name another industry that's seen that level of growth in the span of 6 years. Trust in leagues has been completely eroded. Do you trust the NFL? Do you trust the NBA? I'm a fan of the Dallas Mavericks. I don't even believe the draft wasn't corrupted. You expect me to believe that the Mavs, with a 1% chance of landing the number 1 overall pick, right after they traded Luka Doncic, with the fan base revolting against the franchise, a franchise that sold out every home game for 24 consecutive years. You expect me to believe that the Mavs landing the number 1 pick and drafting Cooper Flagg, you expect me to believe that was a coincidence? Gambling is a lot like politics. Once you align yourself with it, you can't escape it. Watch an NFL pregame show. The so-called experts, which used to give you insight about the actual game, instead of analyzing the game, they're trying to convince you to bet 5-team parlays that have absolutely no chance of hitting. These leagues are exploiting their fan base every way that they can. You need multiple streaming services. You need cable or satellite. Tickets are outrageously expensive and increasing every year. And now they are taking your money through gambling. How long will it be before people have finally had enough? Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.